Consider the data set 50, 60, 65, 70, 80, 80, and 85. So first let's calculate the mean, median, and mode for this given data set. So the mean would be the sum of all of our values, so 50 plus 60 plus 65 plus 70 plus 80 plus 80 plus 85, and then divided by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, the amount of data points we have. So that would be 490 divided by 7, which would give us a mean of 70. The median is going to be the middle data point once all of the data points are listed in numerical order from least to greatest. So right now we have our data points already ordered from least to greatest. And since there's 7, we do have a data point, we have 70 right in the middle. So that's going to be our median. And the mode is the data point which occurs most often. So here we have 80 occurs twice while all of the others occur once. So 80 is going to be our mode. So the mean is 70, the median is 80, or the median is also 70, sorry, and the mode is 80. So now we want to go further. We want to start playing around with the data set given and how it would affect these measures of center if we change the data points given, or if we add to them or we subtract from them. So first, what happens to the mean, median, mode if 60 is added to the set of data? So now we have an 8th data point. So the mean, we would have to find the sum of all of those numbers, which we already know is 490 from above, but we would have to add 60. So 490 plus 60 is going to be 550. And now we're dividing by 8 because we have 8 data points instead of 7. So the mean is going to equal 68.75. Now, if 60 is added to the set of data, we're going to add that in here when it is listed in numerical order. And now we have 8 data points, so the median is going to be actually having to find the mean between 65 and 70. So we would have to find the mean between 65 and 70, meaning we're supposed to find the sum of 65 and 70 and divide by 2. 65 plus 70 gives us a sum of 135. Divided by 2 is going to give us a median of 67.5. Now this, if we add a 60 into the set of data, now 60, that value occurs twice, just like the value of 80, and all the other numbers occur once. So now the mode is going to go from just 80 to now being 60 and 80. So if we again look, we're going from the mean of 70 to a mean of 68.75. We're going from a median of 70 to a median of 67.5. And then we're going from a mode of 80 to now a mode of 80 and 60. So adding the number 60 to the set of data lowers the mean and the median, and then actually adds one number to the mode. So adding a number it looks like less than the median lowered the mean and the median. So now let's look at a different set of data. Now we have 55, 55, 57, 58, 60, and 63. So first let's find the mean, median, and mode for this set. So the mean, we have to find the sum of all of our numbers. We have to add 55 plus 55 plus 57 plus 58 plus 60 plus 63 and divide by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 values we have. So that is going to give us 348 divided by 6, which is equal to 58. So our mean is 58 for this set of data. The median is the middle term when the numbers are written in numerical order from least to greatest, which they are. However, there's an even amount of data points. There's 6, so we have to do the mean between 57 and 58, which is going to be 57 plus 58 divided by 2, which is 57.5. So the median is 57.5, and the mode is going to be the value in your data set that occurs the most often, which here we have 2 values of 55, while every other value is only occurring once, so the mode is going to be 55. So now, what would happen if we add a value? And here it's a little different because we're adding not a number specifically, but we want any number. What if we add any value, let's call x, and we add it to the set? Again, how would the mean change? So first we found the mean of 58. So maybe think about how 58 relates to the other numbers, right? We have 55, 55, 57, 58, 60, and 63. So the mean is one of the numbers 58, and then it's higher than 3 of the values, but lower than 2 of the values. So think, how would the mean change if x was less than the mean? What if x equals the mean? And what if x was greater than the mean? So let's take a look. Here we have if x was less than 58, because again, we're seeing what if x being a value added to the set. And how would the mean change? Let's say if x was less than 58. So if it was less than that mean, if x was less than 58, then think you're adding a value smaller than already the mean, and then you're dividing by a now larger amount or a larger number, because instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 data points, you would have 7. That means the mean would decrease. If x was equal to 58, if it was equal to the mean would stay the same. And then if x was greater than 58, then the mean would increase, because now you're adding a larger value. Even though you're dividing by 7 instead of 6, you still would have that mean increasing. What about now, considering the same set, how would the median change? How would the median change if x was less than 57? What if x was between 57 and 58, or if it was greater than 58? Talking about that median of 57.5, comparing it less than 57, greater than 58, and then between 57 and 58, like 57.5 is. How would that change the median? Well, if x was less than 57, then the median would decrease to 57. Think about it. If you're adding a number to the set, you're making it 7 data values instead of 6, and then you're putting that number so that there's 3 values now before the 57 and 3 values after 57. So the median would then decrease. Instead of being 57.5 in the middle, it would be just 57. What if x was between 57 and 58? So if x was between 57 and 58, the median would increase or decrease to that number added in between 57 and 58, because that would be the new average between the two numbers that you're trying to compare. And it would be smack dab in the middle of 57 and 58, so you would have 3 numbers to the left and 3 numbers to the right, again creating that middle number. Again, very similar. If x was greater than 58, you would have the same argument as if it was less than 57. Then you would have, you're adding a number over here, which is greater than 58, somewhere to the right of 58. So you would have 3 numbers to the right, you would have 3 numbers to the left, so your median would then be 58. You wouldn't have to take the mean. You're adding in a 7th number. So every time your median, if you're adding in a number, you're changing the data points from even to odd, so you can just look at the number in the middle. You don't have to take the mean. Finally, let's take a look at a third example. So it says, consider the data set. We have 10, 15, 17, 18, 18, 20, and 23. We're already telling you the mean is 17.3, the median is 18, and the mode is 18 as well. So think about adding values to the set, and think about what that does to the mean and the median in the set. So what would happen, for example, predict what would happen if the value of 20 was added to the data set. So think about, where is 20 located, or where would it be in relation to all the other points that you already have? How would the mean change? How would the median change? And how would the mode change? Well, you have a mean of 17.3 and we're adding a value that's greater than the mean. We have a median of 18 and we're adding a value of 20, which is greater than 18, and we're changing from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 data points to a now even 8 data points. And then the mode was only 18, but 18 was occurring twice, so we already have a 20 in the set of data, so now that's going to occur twice. So the mean would change to 17.625. It would increase since you're adding a value that's higher than the mean or larger than the mean. So it's going to increase the mean. You're finding the sum of all those original data points plus now 20 divided by 8 now instead of 7. The median would still be the same at 18 because if you're adding in 20, you're adding in a value of 20 over here to the right side of your values, and then you're actually finding, if you now count, you're actually finding the mean or the average of 18 and 18. You have these 3 values to the left and these 3 values to the right, and the mean of 18 plus 18 divided by 2 is still 18. So in this special case, the median is the same. And then your mode is actually going to change to now 2 numbers. It's 18 and 20, since if you're adding in 20 into the data points, you now have 18 occurring twice and you have 20 occurring twice. So it's instead of 1 mode, it's 2 modes. So adding a value to a data set definitely changes the mean, median, the mode. Sometimes, not always, but it definitely is going to have an effect on those 3 values.